One player at every Premier League club ready to leave.
Theo, I'm not doing this video.
Why?
We need 10,000 likes first.
We've got it now. You've said it. When Thogdad says something, you do it. Right, where we started?
We'll start with Arsenal. I'm going for Eddie Nketiah, Theo. He's a 22-year-old centre-forward. Trouble is, he's not had a single start in the Premier League this year. He's been great in the EFL. I'll tell you what, Theo, as an England youth international, he was fantastic, but he needs game time. He's got to drop a division, maybe.
I've gone for a different player, but the same reason. He needs game time. We're talking about Bernd Leno, the current backup goalkeeper for Arsenal. Let's be honest, Aaron Ramsdale's come in, shocked the scene. At the first, people were a little bit hesitant, and he's done wonders. He's been one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League this season, and it's unfortunate, but Leno's going to get no more game time at Arsenal. He's second in line. He's good enough to go somewhere and be a regular.
Theo, he's too good to be on the bench. Aston Villa now, I've gone for Morgan Sanson, Theo, the central midfielder. 14 million quid he cost from Marseille, and it's just not working out. Now, he's got a contract until 2025, so maybe if there's interest elsewhere, time to go.
I've gone for someone on the complete different end of the spectrum. I think he wants to make a step up in his career. He's had a lot of high interest from some of the biggest clubs in the world. I'm going to mention it, Atletico de Madrid. I'm not saying Aston Villa should sell him. I'm not saying to the fans that he's been bad at all. He's done wonders this season. I'm speaking about Matty Cash.
Oh, Theo, surely not.
This is him being ready to leave.
Yes.
Of course Villa want to keep him and play his whole life at Aston Villa because he's a really good right back. But when Atletico knock, sometimes the player, his head can switch because he wants to have a career where he goes and does amazing things. So I've gone for Matty Cash.
Wow, I think Aston Villa need to keep hold of that Polish international, and he needs to stay in my FPL team.
It's just me saying there's a likely chance he might move on because he's such a top player.
Brentford now, I've gone for a man on a 6-month contract. I have to apologise before I say this. Christian Eriksen. Now, he's a legend of the game, the Danish international, for many, many reasons. But he's not the normal Brentford signing. I think he's a short-term fix. I don't think he'll be there next year.
What, you don't think he's been good enough or what?
No, it's not even that, Theo. I think he's there to do a job, which is to keep Brentford up, to add something to the dressing room and on the pitch. I think he'll be gone, though.
I'm going for Ivan Toney. And of course, Brentford want to keep him. But things on and off the pitch and the way his head is about this, look, he's scoring goals at the moment. What is it, 5 goals in 2 games? He had an interview with a guy off the street where he said no one exciting about which club he played for.
Theo, does Ivan Toney not know what a camera is?
I know.
I mean, come on, when the camera's switched on, don't say something stupid, Ivan Toney.
Forgets about the PR side, where if you mess up on camera, it's everywhere, and twice that's happened now. But I'm hearing interest from a lot of big clubs.
Yes.
And I know they'd take him, and maybe the move makes sense. Brentford can reinvest around the rest of the squad.
It wouldn't surprise me, Theo, because what Brentford do, they bring these players in, and if there's a high enough offer, they let him go. And it's all driven by data. They'll know someone in the Danish league who is as good as Ivan Toney.
I reckon Toney's in his prime right now to sell.
Yes.
So you get a very good price on him. So you might as well sell him.
Brighton and Hove Albion. I've gone for the German Pascal Gross. Theo, he signed 5 years ago. I remember he went straight in my FPL team.
Yeah.
He scored 2 goals in almost his first game.
Brilliant.
He's been a reasonable servant, but time to go.
Fair enough. I've gone for Basuma. Now, there's been problems on and off the pitch again with someone like him. Brighton recently haven't been on great form. And I think if a team comes in and offers 50 mil, Brighton should shake their hand. Good night. I think Brighton can replace him. I think he's replaceable. They're very good with their scouting. We've seen they've picked up players from Dennis Undav they've got coming in. If they can scout like that, I had him on So Rare, all right?
Yeah,
and he was banging in the goals in the Belgian league. They clearly know what they're doing. If they can find a midfielder to replace Basuma, I think this deal makes sense because of the price tag you can get for it. And currently on the pitch, it's not been working for Graham Potter's boys. Reinvest in some new boys and see where it takes you.
And now for Burnley of Lancashire. This lad played for Oldham. He played for Brentford. He's had 2 caps for England. You know what I'm going to say. James Tarkowski. Yeah. He's finished his 6-year contract. Time to go.
He's not accepted a new contract, and that to me believes he wants a new start.
Yes.
So he's ready to leave. That's the title of the video, and I agree with you.
Wow. Okay, we've finally agreed on one.
Yeah, you've finally gone. See, I was going for the more rash decisions, the more risky. You know, I might get clipped up. You finally agree with me, but it is the easy one with Burnley.
Chelsea now, and it has to be Antonio Rudiger, the German international. And Theo, I absolutely love this player.
Yeah.
But it seems he's being a little bit greedy with the old wage demands. So maybe it's time to move on.
Well, it's a tough one at Chelsea now. It looks like they can't offer contracts full stop, which means Rudiger has to go.
Which is a real shame. Hopefully a new owner, American owner, probably will come in the next few weeks.
Yeah, and then they can get Rudiger sorted out, because right now he's probably the best centre-back in the world.
Absolutely astonishing this season.
He's competing on such an unbelievable level, and that's probably why he's going to Chelsea and saying, look, this is what the best centre-back in the world's on. I want the same. Chelsea can't pay that, especially with what's going on upstairs. So it makes sense that he's ready to leave, like you said. So I'm sure he's talking to the Real Madrids and so on. But for me, Chelsea, I've got to go with another face, Timo Werner. One league goal this season. For a player that I've seen do very successful, RB Leipzig. I remember even before he signed for Chelsea, I said to Chelsea fans, he's going to be very good for you, because we watched them in the Bundesliga tear defenders to shreds. I don't know why it's not working under Tuchel this season. It's really unfortunate, because he's a legend. Lovely guy. That's why it's so upsetting for so many Chelsea fans. When he leaves, he goes a hero, because he's just a nice person.
Do you know what, Theo? I think he does a lot of work for that club, and often it doesn't show in goals. It's assists, or it's just work rate on the pitch. I'd like to see him have another season at least.
I wanna see it work, but for his own career, it might be good to move on.
Crystal Palace, I've gone for James Tompkins, who of course is a centre-back. Now the trouble at Crystal Palace, no, it's not a trouble, it's brilliant. They're bringing in younger players like Guehi, Joachim Andersen, and really his 6-year contract is up. I think it's time to go.
Yeah, I've gone for Christian Benteke, because he's 31 years old now. He's not a regular in the team. You may as well sell him.
Theo, he's a legend of the game.
He goes a legend. I think Palace are really building something special in their team, and he's not the main part of it anymore. Honestly, he's a Premier League legend though. Love the guy.
Everton, I've got to go for the Venezuelan centre-forward, Salomon Rondon, of course. He's got 1 year left on his contract, I think, but it's just not working, is it?
No, it's not. I think with Everton, you could probably name the whole team.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be in a relegation fight with that side.
Do you agree with me on that one?
No, I don't. Like I said, it could be anyone in the side.
So you're saying the whole team?
I am actually saying the whole team, but the one player they'll probably get the most for, or one of the most, and if they get relegated, he's definitely on his way out, and that is Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Wow.
Last few weeks, it's not been unbelievable. I know he's had things off the pitch again to deal with, but I thought his assist for Iwobi was excellent. They got a massive 3 points there. If they're going to stay up, he'll probably stay. But if they're going to go down, he'll be the first one to go to an Arsenal or something. You can get very good money for that, reinvest and build your way back up. I hate to think about Everton getting relegated. I swear they're the one club that have been in the first division, the top tier for the longest out of everyone.
They've been there since, the 1960s. I think Arsenal have been there longer, but it's amazing, isn't it, that we're talking about Everton in terms of relegation. A couple of years ago, we were talking about top 6. Leeds United, this is fairly obvious. Barcelona want him, Bayern Munich want him, Chelsea want him. It's the brilliant Rafinha, who I regard as a world-class player. Brazilian international. Wait to see what he's going to do in Qatar.
Yeah.
If you get a big offer for him, you have to go. Now, the trouble with Leeds, I think, Theo, they don't have billionaire owners. If someone comes in, 60 million, 70 million, you have to take it.
Now, I must point out, I think Marsh has done a great job at Leeds so far. They've had some crucial wins of late, and I think they'll stay up. I'm very worried about what Rafinha can do when he puts on a gold and blue. I don't know if it's gold, you know what I mean? Gold shirt in Qatar. So I think it's someone who has to go. Look, he's got clubs interested in him from all around the world.
Yes.
Of course he's going to go. I know Leeds fans know he's the best player. They want to keep him, but it's just not realistic. You may as well cash in, get like a good 80 million for him or something?
Well, the thing is, Barcelona can't afford him. Chelsea can't really buy anyone at the moment.
With their new ownership situation, they might be. I think Barca can afford him. Seems like they've put in some contract or some bid already.
I'm not sure they can. There's some strict rules, aren't there, about the account. But let's not go into that. Imagine him at Barcelona, though. How good would they be next season?
They've got so many options. They don't actually need him. When you look at their squad, it's Barcelona. They're going to spend if they can. But he's going to get interest from all round, so we agree.
Leicester City now. I've gone for a Belgian. It's always a Belgian, isn't it, Theo? I've gone for Yuri Tielemans. Now, the reason is I rate him very highly. 1 year left on his contract. He's worth about 50 million quid. If he stays for a year without signing a contract, he's worth nothing to the club. You know, this is just pure economics. Sell him.
If they can get money for him and he doesn't want to stay, you may as well sell him. Leicester fans agree with us on that. I've seen on Twitter. They can replace him for sure. And if they do get some money, they can get a decent replacement in. And you get him off the wage bill 1 year in advance. This deal makes sense. We agree again.
Liverpool now, and I've gone for an absolute legend. Divock Origi, Theo. He's been 8 years at the club, but quite honestly, he's only 26 years old. He's not getting enough game time. So if he could go somewhere like AC Milan, surely it's time to go.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not giving my Liverpool pick.
Nobody?
No, I've given somehow, I'm just not saying it.
10,000 likes, please.
No, subscribe.
Oh, subscribe.
Yeah,
okay.
you missed out. Guys, subscribe.
Yeah,
Listen,
absolutely.
I've given you 3 seconds, and if you don't do it, you're a mug. Okay, my pick's Origi as well.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, all that build-up, and I've gone for the same player.
Theo, he's won the Champions League, and I love that picture of him holding the trophy.
Like, come on, the guy's a hero.
Manchester City now. I've gone for a 24-year-old, 1 year left on his contract. He's worth about 50 million quid, and Juventus want him. Gabriel Jesus.
He's only 24.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I thought he'd be like 27 now.
This is the thing, Theo. The thing about this guy, he's a good footballer, but he's not a great footballer like Aguero. And if Haaland comes in or Kane comes in, he's just not going to get game time.
Don't know if he was a Pep signing or not, but he did fit the tactics. He's had some incredible moments like Real Madrid away where he scored those important goals to knock them out of the Champions League previous years. He scored so many goals for City. And when need be, he does turn up. But we've seen a little bit less of him this season.
Yes.
They play without a number 9. They're going for the Prem and Champions League. They could even with both, and I think he's going to go.
Manchester United, the red side of Manchester. This lad's been there for 6 years already. The contract is up. It is, of course, Paul Pogba, who is amazing in a France shirt. But I'm sorry, I don't think he was worth the money at Man United.
Yeah, look, I'm going for the whole team.
Ooh.
I'm going for the whole team. They all need replacing.
Every single one of them.
Who stays? I mean,
Sancho.
I was at Atletico both legs. It is a real problem at Manchester United right now.
There's something wrong there. Is it something
Ole.
about the culture of the club?
What I've worked out over the last few months, it wasn't. Ole was not the problem. Sacking Ole has not worked.
No.
Because at least he fired them up for some games. Manchester Derby, they would never get battered 4-1 at the Etihad under Ole, but they did under Ralph. The problem is the players.
Is it though,
yes,
Theo?
It is.
Does it not start with the owners and the boardroom? Honestly, the culture at Man United, from what I hear, is not right.
But the culture as well comes down to the players as well. And as much as they're in a bad situation upstairs, if the players were more together, they wouldn't be losing 4-1. They'd be fighting. Tactics are also a bit of a worry. Like playing Pogba number 9 for part of the game against City was just like, what are you doing? Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, what's happened to them? Harry Maguire. Only Sancho and maybe Fred this season. Them two have actually I've been impressed with, but the rest I've been very disappointed. Expected more for their levels. We're talking about Manchester United here.
I know, Theo.
They need a complete squad rerun. Even Varane doesn't fancy playing after. He's always ill.
Newcastle now, and it's got to be Kieran Clark, the Republic of Ireland international. He's been there 6 years, Theo. He's got a year left on his contract, but he probably doesn't fit in, given his age. He's now 32. They're going to bring in a lot of expensive new players. Time to go.
He literally gets paid to turn up to a lovely training ground and go on luxury trips. The guy's living life.
He is.
But it will be time to go soon.
Norwich City now, and I've gone for the right back, Max Aarons, Theo. He's probably the most valuable asset at the club. He's got 2 years left on his contract. But this yo-yo team, they have to sell their best players, don't they?
They do. I've gone for another lad, Cantwell.
Yes.
It seems like there was some issue off the pitch with Norwich when he was there. When he comes back from the loan, and by the way, I think he's doing pretty well at Bournemouth. They might want to sign him on a permanent, so it's fair to say Todd Cantwell could potentially be ready to leave. If Bournemouth get promoted as well, then it makes sense.
It does
sign
make sense. Absolutely. 2 years ago, Todd Cantwell was a really good player.
But this is what I mean. Like when you start afresh and you go somewhere new manager, setting, away from all the really. You can get good again. This is why I was hoping Dele Alli move to Everton would work, but I don't know how we fix that lad. But we're getting off topic. Cantwell. Aarons.
Southampton now have gone for another Republic of Ireland international, Theo, Shane Long, the centre forward, 35 years old. The trouble is you've got Adam Armstrong, Che Adams, you've got Brozier on loan at the moment. You just don't need him.
Yeah, for me, I've gone with Theo Walcott. He's 33. He barely plays anymore. But this one's really up to him. You're 33 and you peaked very early in your career. So he's probably enjoying just chilling on the bench and watching footy each week. I mean, it won't be time to hang up the boots just yet, but I think he might be ready to leave.
Tottenham Hotspur now. Shall I say it or shall you? It's got to be Harry Kane, Theo.
What?
Now, I know he's got 2 years left on his contract. He's worth about 90 million quid. If you keep him, Theo, if he doesn't sign a contract, his value goes down. So the boardroom, if they get a silly offer, around 100 million, they've got to take it.
I did not expect you to say Harry Kane. You've actually gone ballsy for once.
I know I have.
I haven't. I've gone for Rodon, the centre-back, Joe Rodon. Because the truth is, he's 24 years old. They signed him from Swansea. There was a lot of potential there. He had a good job in the Championship. And he had a few games where I thought, you know what, this guy could be the future of Tottenham centre-back position. But yeah, they've gone with different options now. They've got a a 3 back under Conte. Rodon doesn't really get in the team. And as a 24-year-old, you've got to move on, get regular game time and show the world what you can do.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, Theo. I've been impressed with him both at Swansea and for Wales. I'd like to see him get more game time. So 100%. I get that. Watford now. I've gone for the YouTuber, the cyclist, the goalkeeper, Ben Foster. He's 38 years old. He's had a brilliant 4 years at Watford. He's an absolute legend of an individual. Time for something else. Maybe a move to the MLS.
If he goes to the MLS, Dad, I can't wait for his content. It's going to be outstanding. Like, the lifestyle. Wow, what a guy. Wish I could do that. But I tell you what, Danny Rose is the pick for me. Because, look, from watching him, I think it's time to move on. Get somewhere new, try it again. I don't know. It's just not really working out for him, is it?
Yeah, maybe Bolton Wanderers there.
Yeah, get him down Bolton.
Yeah.
Declan John, he's a legend.
That's true. West Ham United, I've got a tear in my eye because this man is one of the most loyal people in football. It is, of course, Mark Noble, Theo. He's been at West Ham for 18 years. I hope on his way out he lifts up the Europa League trophy.
Absolutely. And for West Ham, for me, I have to say, before I go on my pick, Mark Noble, you really think he's going to leave? He's a one-man club. Do you not think he wants to keep that in his resume?
At some point, Theo, he's 34 years old. Maybe it's time to go. He's not getting much game time anymore.
I've gone for Yarmolenko. Although he's been very good recently and he's been scoring the goals, I think West Ham fans agree if you're looking to the future in the summer, it'll probably be the right time to sell him. No disrespect, the geezer's been playing amazing recently and I wish him all the best. And his country. I'm wearing yellow and blue too. So,
absolutely. Yeah. And finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers Fabio Silva, Theo. He came in 2 years ago from Porto. 35 million quid it was. You overpaid for him. I never got that one. Time to go.
He was always a wonder kid on Football Manager. Clearly they went off the stats and it's not worked out, has it? I've gone for Marçal.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's a bit of a cheat option because I've seen on Twitter that he's already agreed a deal with Botafogo.
Oh, you cheated?
Well, I'll go for Fabio Silva instead then. You know what I mean? But the reason for Marcel, he was always a cover for Johnny.
Yeah.
And it's not a massive loss for Wolves. He's a decent player. He'll enjoy it back in Brazil. He's from there as well. So, good little time in the family. We've probably got things wrong. That's what the comment section is for. Let us know at your club, who have we missed out on? Who needs to be sold in the summer? Click the like button, then click on Thogden's forehead on the screen, and that's it. See you in a bit.
See ya.
Bye-bye.